The story of Jess, why she deserved better care. This is going to have a trigger warning talking about suicide and loss. They told her to stop taking her medication, which she was probably taking Zofran, I'm assuming. And whoever gave her that bit of advice, her death is on their conscience. An HG mom should never stop medication, ever. What happened to Jess with, killing herself and her unborn baby, unfortunately happens more often than people realize. This is in the media, but there have been so many cases over the years that I personally have known moms to kill themselves, and it doesn't make it into the whole social realm. I feel so bad, but I understand how she feels because I've been there. I lost 85 pounds. I threw up so much until I had bloody tears to my eyes bled. I threw up vomit. I had blood just everywhere, all over me, coming down every orifice, and nobody would take me seriously. I get told it's all in my head, to suck it up, to eat crackers, to try Jello water, to have ginger, C-bands. None of that shit works for Hyperemesis Gravidarum. None of it. And this, her death, should have never happened. Never. She took her own life. This was a tragedy that could have been prevented, and it wasn't. It wasn't. It killed me to speak about her, but the one thing I can tell you is her death at least has gotten around in the media, so more people know what Hyperemesis Gravidarum is. I think she'd be happy about that. Because in my opinion, she had psychosis and lost touch with reality, because when you have HG and you're that sick, when you're so dehydrated, when you're so malnourished, your brain gets warped. Like, it literally mind F's you. And then you start having these really negative thoughts that you cannot control. And death looks like a viable option. Death looks like the easy way out. It should have never happened. This is a tragedy that should have never, ever happened. The reality of HG is not normal pregnancy sickness. It's relentless vomiting, dehydration, organ damage, and starvation. It also causes severe mental health trauma that's not spoken about enough. Jess was prescribed medication that kept her barely stable. Barely. But when the doctors told her to stop taking it because it could harm her baby, she just crashed. Her body couldn't go anymore. Neither could her mind. You can't understand what it feels like to be in that situation unless you've been in that situation where you've wanted to kill yourself because of HG, where it looks like it's a better option than staying alive. I always say I felt like I was dying in slow motion, but at one point death didn't feel scary anymore. Living the way I was living, sick, throwing up 100 times a day, throwing up blood, having bloody tears. Like, they never even act like that was a big deal to me. When you have tears coming out of your eyes that are blood, we have a problem. We have a big problem. But it was treated and blown off as me overreacting. You can't fake that. But I was overreacting. It's all in my head. That's what I was told. And we're supposed to believe doctors. Doctors are supposed to have all the answers, and they don't. And that's why it's so important that you have to advocate for yourself. You have to advocate for you. You have to advocate for your baby, because nobody else is going to save your ass but you. It's important to have someone to help advocate for you if you're too sick. Like, I was grateful that my husband was able to advocate for me. We didn't know what the hell we were going through. We didn't understand what Hyperemesis Gravidarum was at the time. We had no clue. We had no clue. We just were told it was severe morning sickness. So we were trying to treat it with all the classic morning sickness remedies, and none of it was working because I had HG. I did not have morning sickness. Morning sickness and HG are not even in the same ballpark. It's like apples and oranges. You can't compare the two, day and night. And the tragic loss of Jess, I hope, will save some moms. She shouldn't have had to die. Her baby shouldn't have had to die. But they did. Whoever told her to stop her medications, if her family knew who, I would say go after them because they're liable. You don't ever tell an HG mom to stop her medication. Ever. Ever. You hear me? When I say ever, I mean ever. Medication is the difference between life and death. Life and death. So you have to remember that. Her baby only lived 4 days and passed away. So her family has to mourn the loss of Jess and the baby. And that's not fair. I mean, 1 out of 3 babies don't make it to a live birth. And I think that number is much higher in my research with my organization that I've done. But what happened to her will happen again with another mom. Because HG is not taken seriously, and it needs to be. If you're feeling me right now, drop a comment below, share this video, tag somebody to help them see this video, to get my videos out there, because when you share, when you tag, it helps to be able to get out there so other HG moms know who I am. I try to get out there as much as I can. I run a crisis line that I help moms 24/7. You can text or call. I'll put the number on the screen. And I'm here to give you that support, to teach you how to advocate, to know what to say to the doctors when you're in the hospital, what medications will work. I never wanted another mom to suffer the way that I suffered during HG. I am 16 years in the aftermath, and I am still chronically sick with aftermath health issues. Once HG was over, it wasn't over. I was still sick, and I was so confused. I was so confused why I was still sick. I'm like, wait a minute. I was told once I had the baby, I'd be okay, and I'm not, and I'm throwing up. What the hell's wrong with me now? And years of battling for my own care. You know, I'll list right now just some of the health issues that I do have, but I have a lot more than what I'm going to list here. But the major ones I would say is mast cell activation disorder, where your body creates too much histamine and other mediators that cause constant allergic reactions. So I react to everything. I react to people. I react to smells. I react to sound, clothing, just anything. I react to anything. And sometimes there doesn't even have to be a trigger, and I get a reaction. I'm on IV Benadryl every 4 hours, and I have other IV medications to help control the condition at home. Otherwise, I would constantly have to be in the hospital. I also have a feeding tube, and right now I have just the G tube. I use my G tube to drain my stomach 24/7. That's what's in here, what's called a Faro bag. So it decompresses your stomach to get all the air and all the gas out, and anything that I have that's drainable. So I try to have drainable food so I could drain it out. You don't know how hard it is when you want to eat and do those normal tasks of grabbing something to eat, putting to the mouth, still tasting food. And yeah, I get to do that, and I have to drain it. But unfortunately, this is the life that I've been dealt, and I have to, you know, have quality of life. And so I look at these as my IV, my feeding tube. I look at them as tools that are in my tool belt to help me so I'm home, I can function, I can be with my daughter, I can be with my husband, I can make this content for you, continue my awareness. Do I have bad days? Absolutely. There's days that I can't breathe, that I'm gasping for air, thinking, is today going to be the day this anaphylaxis kills me? Or will I make it another day? Am I going to end up with a bad seizure and fall? You know, every day is a challenge for me, every single day. My daughter has aftermath health issues. I would say she's more healthier now than she was when she was born. When she was born, she had all sorts of health problems that I just never thought would go away. With having acid reflux, with vomiting like The Exorcist, not sleeping, crying all the time, breaking out in hives. She has mast cell activation disorder as well. It's just not as severe as mine. And then I also have dysautonomia, and this is the malfunction of your autonomic nervous system. Your autonomic nervous system is what controls the things that you don't have to think about, like your heart rate, your blood pressure, your oxygen, your digestion. And it usually goes with mast cell activation syndrome, aka disorder. The term is used interchangeably, so you'll either hear it called mast cell activation disorder, or you'll hear it called mast cell activation syndrome, or MCAS for short. When you're starving and you're dehydrated and you're in constant pain, your brain can break. HG can cause thiamine deficiency, electrolyte imbalances, sleep deprivation, all of which can fuel psychosis, depression, and suicidal thoughts. Jess didn't fail, the system failed Jess. So remember that. Jess did not fail. The system failed Jess. The healthcare system. The doctors that were treating her failed her and her baby. She should be alive. She should be able to be enjoying her baby. And she's not. Because she took her own life. And being suicidal and being in that place mentally is dark. It is a deep, dark mindset that most people cannot get out of. And you can never imagine how bad it is unless you've gone through it. And I still have nightmares because of HG. I have post-traumatic stress disorder, which usually almost every HG mom that we've had HG somewhat severe has post-traumatic stress disorder, or they can end up with postpartum depression, postpartum psychosis, postpartum anxiety. And all of these happen after HG, but they're brushed off as they're not a big deal, but they are a big deal, and it's important to get them addressed after you have your baby, especially after you have your baby. HG doesn't end once the pregnancy is over. Most moms have aftermath health issues, malnutrition, chronic dehydration, electrolyte imbalances, mental health issues, all of it. And even though I'm 16 years out, 16, mind you, 1-6, every day I'm reminded of HG and what it took from me every single day. Every day. Why this matters. Jess's death is not just an isolating story. Too many HG mothers are dismissed shamed and told to stop taking their medication. But stopping medication can be deadly. HG is not cured with ginger and crackers or thinking positively. It's a life-threatening medical crisis that needs to be taken seriously and not. I know what it's like to want to give up, to feel trapped in the body that's vomiting itself to death, to be told it's all in your head, but I'm still here. Jess isn't, and that's why I'll never stop speaking, never stop advocating, never stop being a voice, because something like this should have never happened, but it did. I've been advocating for 15 years. I've written a book on HG that's on Amazon, The Unseen Battle, Sick, Silent, and Forgotten, The Hidden Battle of Hyperemesis Gravidarum. It's 632 pages. It's a big book. If you were not buying it on Amazon and say I was shipping it to you, it costs $30 to ship, and I'm not joking. If you're having a hard time and you want the book and you're not able, reach out to me and I'll send you the e-copy for free. I just asked for a review on Amazon in exchange for it. And let it be your lifeline to hold on to while you're fighting HG, or you're in the aftermath and you don't know what to do. I talk about the aftermath in great detail. I talk about the causes of HG that nobody talks about. I share other women's stories. I share my story. I share my husband Robert's story. I talk about things that are not in any other pregnancy books. I put a lot of time, a lot of effort into this book because I wanted all of my knowledge to be in a book to help moms. So that way, if I'm unable, my book can help and will be here long after I'm gone, which hopefully will not be anytime soon. Jess's story should have never happened. Her life and her baby's life mattered. HG moms deserve validation, treatment, and compassion, not dismissal that costs them everything. If you or someone you know is suffering in silence, in the US, you can dial 988 or for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, and for HG moms, you can reach out to me, to my HG support line, 909-261-1111. You can text or call anytime, and I'm here to give you that guidance and support and just help you through your pregnancy, and to know that you're not alone. You are not alone. You have to remember that. Jess's death was a tragedy, and it could have been prevented, and sadly it wasn't. And sadly, this will continue to keep happening until HG is taken seriously. Until it's taken seriously. By sharing this video, you're not only sharing is caring, you're able to get more reach to other HG moms so no one else kills themselves. When I heard the story, I was just so heartbroken, because it should have never happened. I'm Star and You're Strong, HG activist, founder of HG Before, During, and the Aftermath, and HG Activist Life, and author of The Unseen Battle, Sick, Silent, Forgotten, The Hidden Battle of Hyperemesis Gravidarum, that you can buy on Amazon. You can buy the ebook version, or you can buy the paperback version. And if you want a copy of the book and you're struggling money-wise, get a hold of me and I'll send you the ebook for free. I just want to be able to get the knowledge and information out there to help other moms. So contact me if you want a copy of the ebook for free. If you can't afford to buy the paperback, or you can't afford to buy the ebook, reach out to me and just know that you're never alone. And I'll see you in the next video. In loving memory of Jess,
Cronshaw, 1996 to 2022.
Don't try to crack me, I'm an activist for HG. This is before, during, the aftermath.